Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Live with Entredot. I'm Bill Warner, as you probably already know. Welcome to our broadcast. We haven't had one in a few weeks. I got busy moving from a house to an apartment and doing all the stuff that goes with that. We're now in an apartment. Things are calming down. We'll move to a house in another few months. So that's my life story at this point in my life, anyway. Hey, look, over the last week and a half, I've covered several marketing topics in my Marketing Moments videos in the morning. And a few of them are really in a series of the marketing process. But that was spread out over 5 days. So what I thought I'd do in this program is take you through the entirety of the marketing process, because it's really so terribly important that every one of you kind of follow this process. It makes sense, but when you talk to a lot of marketing geeks, they blow your mind with all sorts of techno-weenie jargon that is confusing. I'm going to try and simplify it a little bit for you and try to talk straight English with you about this subject. But I want to cover a complete marketing lead generation process and a lot of the implications of what goes along with that. So here we go. We're going to simplify things. So in my view, and it's arguable, a lot of marketing experts yell at me when I say this, but I'm going to continue to say it because I believe it. The primary purpose of marketing is lead generation. Get leads. If marketing, the fundamental part of marketing doesn't work, you don't get leads. If you don't get leads, you got nobody to sell to. What happens then? You run out of money and go out of business. You don't want that to happen. But I acknowledge fully above board and actually totally agree that there are other aspects of marketing that are quite important. You do need a brand. Yes, a brand image that's well communicated, well portrayed. You need taglines. You need logos. You need a branding theme. You need a purpose. All those things are important. You need a social purpose, perhaps, if you're a nonprofit in particular, or a B corporation of some kind. You need to build a reputation, and the messaging you have on your site helps you do that. Not all makes sense to me, but all said and done, you must get leads. So I suggest you concentrate on that, particularly if you're an early stage company and you're on fumes with respect to cash. You need to bring some more cash into the business. So what better way to do that is get qualified leads and sell to them. I try to simplify the audience for marketing into two categories, and you hear me talk about it this way often. I divide it into prospects. These are people that you may be able to sell to, but prospects that you know. You already know them. They're on your email list. You have a relationship with them. You're following them on LinkedIn and Facebook and other social media. You interchange posts. So you do those kinds of, you know them. The other is people you don't know. It's kind of hard just to email people you don't know because you don't have their email address. And you got to find them in very different ways. It's these people you don't know that adds all this complexity to marketing. Because how the heck do you reach people you don't know? It's a challenge. I'm going to go through it though. There are 3 not so simple process steps here. I'm going to go through all 3. I talked about them in my Marketing Moments week before last. First one is awareness, where you make your prospects, whether you know them or not, aware that you exist and that you have something to sell to them. More on that later. But the second step, which happens immediately upon someone responding to your awareness effort, responding by checking you out. And I'll take you through that in just a minute. And you must pass the checking out. This is pass-fail kind of thing. If you don't check out so good, you'll never see them again. You don't want that to happen. The third step is conversion. And there's a couple of forms of conversion depending on what you're selling. This first step, excuse me, awareness. Think of awareness as nurturing relationships. Nurturing current relationships, these are people you know, and establishing new relationships. So, hey, we're making friends. We're nurturing our current friends and making new ones. That's what outreach is all about. Making them aware you exist and you have something important for them to pay attention to. So let's do both of these. Okay, back to prospects you know. The way to reach them, believe it or not, on an ongoing basis is email. Isn't that boring? Age-old email. It's existed since the earth cooled. You have a contact list. You've got certain things you want to inform them of, and you can do it via email. Really simple. Emails can be rich in content today. Emails can be done regularly in nurturing these relationships. You want to contact people, cause them to remember you. So you do it every few months. You send an email, or you may have a marketing campaign. You want to inform them that you have a new feature, you have a new product, you have a new service, and you want to let them know about it, and you want them to consider buying into it. Okay. It's simple. And there are all sorts of tools that help you manage email communications. You probably know them better than I do. HubSpot, Agile, and many others. Another way is social posts. You're following people on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and all these social channels. You post out to them. Great information. Maybe the same kinds of things you would have sent via an email. So these are notices of new products, comments on things that they're doing, likes on things that they're saying. People are liking you in return and you're saying thank you. All this social interaction that goes on where you're, nurturing relationships with people you know. A result of this also is people you know can introduce you to others you don't know. There's a relationship here. So if you're nurturing these relationships and these prospects, people you know, come to respect you, they have a high regard for you because you're doing nice things for them. And they know what you do. So when the time comes when they meet somebody that they discover has need of your products and services, they'll refer them to you. So you'll get a new lead through someone you already know because you've treated these people very nicely. And they return the favor by making a referral. Strangely enough, people you can know can get you introduced to people you don't know. So that's a few examples of creating awareness and by nurturing relationship with people you know. Now let's go to the harder ones. Prospects you don't know. Don't know them from a hole in the wall. Well, how do I get to them? Well, the first thought is one that I posted out just recently, is search engine optimization on your website. It's a fancy term to simply provide a mechanism by which people you don't know, but who are searching for help of some kind, they want a service, they want a product. They don't know where to go to get it. So they're going to do a search on Google. They're going to search for the service by name. It's called a search word or search words. So you're going to have a professional optimize your website to make sure that you have in very prominent places on your website the words that people are going to use to find the service and or products that you sell. Simple as that. That's plain English, right? This helps people find you. You haven't reached out to them at all. You don't know them, but you enable them to find you when they need help that you can provide them. Pretty simple. Need to do this very well, though. Consult with and perhaps have someone who's an expert at this and has the tools they have that you don't have, or nor do you know how to use, in order to make sure you're finding the right search words to use for the kind of services that you perform. They can figure that out for you. Then they can prioritize them. Another way to reach people you don't know is post out on the internet to the public and through people you already are connected to on social media, new and interesting content. Okay, fancy word for things that they're going to be interested in reading or viewing. Content is articles, blogs, it's videos and podcasts. It's all sorts of forms of information that are used to get people's attention on what your business is about, what you're all about, and what you're selling to people that have a need for what it is you're selling. So you're going to be very careful in creating content, sorry for the fancy word again, but it's information in all of these different forms that gives them value. You don't know them, it got to them because you put it out there in your social posts. The next step beyond that is put it out there in a very direct way via advertising to a particular demographic, and you pay money for this. Again, through advertising on Facebook is probably one of the more popular ones, but Google is way up there in popularity and usage. It's all forms of advertising which you should seriously consider in order to reach people in a very selected market for a particular need that you're going to be able to fill with your products and services. And ending it all, in whatever form you reach out to these people you know or people you don't know, you have a thoughtful call to action. So they read your stuff, what in blazes do you want them to do next? You've got to tell them and guide them. Take them by the hand and say, click here to learn more about something, where they're told about a new product or service, or provided a really interesting article, or asked to subscribe to something. Whatever it is you want them to do, you take them by the hand down the road, step by step. That's what I mean by thoughtful in terms of a call to action. That's a fancy marketing word for get people's attention and make sure that there's an action step that you cause them to take. That's awareness. Next is the very next thing that they're going to do. Whoever you reached out to, even if you know them, but it's more likely for those people you don't know, is to check you out. Who the hell is this guy or gal who is trying to reach out to me and giving me all this stuff? So what are they going to do? They're going to check you out. Well, where? They're going to go to your website for sure. Then they're going to see what kind of content you have. If it's boring, long-winded paragraphs of stuff that would take them 12 minutes to read, and it doesn't seem very compelling, it's not very well differentiated, they're going to leave. But make it informative with rich content. My favorite is video, like I'm doing to you now. Rich content. Have a vlog full of these kind of videos. That's rich content on your website. People will be quite impressed that you communicate in very sophisticated ways and appreciate the importance of video content or audio content and differentiated messaging. Your social profiles, like on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram, all the major social platforms. But you're going to focus on the ones where your potential prospects go. What platform do they look at to check people out? And you better be on it. So if you got majorly Facebook people, you better be on Facebook and have a business page accordingly for them to read and find you. And all of these profiles need to be up to date, complete with all information about your business, about you. They want to know about you, quite frankly. So tell them. Don't leave stuff out of the profile. Fill it out. You do it once and update it every 2 or 3 months and you're going to be fine. For all of these profiles, let Google be your friend. Let YouTube be your friend. Go search for videos that you can search on for how to complete a LinkedIn profile, how to do marketing or effective marketing on LinkedIn. Use those words to search for videos and other instructional material on how to do this stuff. I'm not the best at putting on videos, but I learned all about it from my teacher on YouTube, who I've never met in my life. But she puts on great videos, and I can understand her. So I have rich published content on YouTube, like many do, and point people to it. All these videos on YouTube have a URL. Give it to someone. Pick out the ones that are best to illustrate what you're trying to be selling at this moment. Give them links to it. So this evaluation process happens in a matter of minutes. Not too many minutes, 3 minutes, somewhere, in the low single digits. They will take the next step and go to that, take that purposeful call to action you gave them in awareness. But you gotta check out positively. If you flunk at evaluation, you flunk forever, as I said before. You'll never see them again. Third step is conversion. Now, the kind of conversion I'm talking about here is mainly B2B and B to storefronts, where the sales process is quite lengthy. After they respond to your call to action in this B2B, B2C stores world, you're going to go through a discussion with several questions you want to get cleared up in an effort to qualify them for you to spend any time with them in the sales process. You want to know, does this prospect have the need that you can fulfill? You ask them. Do they want the solution that you can provide them? Do they have a sense of urgency to have it? Do they want it now, or are they just thinking about it? Do they have a budget to pay for it? Is this in their plan? Do they have a budget this year for it? With the budget, they'll be able to commit the dollars to this project or this product or service. If all of that's true, and I do mean all of it, if one of these is no, I wouldn't spend any more time on the prospect. Follow up with them later, maybe. Don't lose track of them. But if it's all positive, then proceed to the sales process. Start selling. In the B2C world, all of this qualifying stuff happens by reading the materials about the product, have strong Q&A support, have chat available, have all sorts of things available to them to clarify what it is that you're selling and be able to answer their questions as they consider your product. And the next step is conversion, is put it in the shopping cart, then buy it. That's conversion. Wrapping this up. So what are the next steps if you're just starting out in this with a new business? Or if you're already in business and things aren't working out and you might have missed a few things, here's what a complete marketing strategy looks like. You got to have one. If somebody asks you for your marketing strategy, you ought to be able to talk them through it, where you have clearly shown that you understand the needs of your customers, the needs you're going to fulfill, and what your solution is for its fulfillment. You have a value proposition that's compelling. You can clearly differentiate yourself from your competitors. You have strong messaging that clearly positions you as a winner and positions you in the market that you're in, and that you have determined the appropriate marketing channels through which you're going to be conducting your marketing programs and ultimately closing on some sales. And then you implement an ongoing marketing plan that implements this marketing strategy I just kind of took you through. So you've got a really rich, content-rich website. When people come to this website, they say, wow, look at what this company has. Look at how they're portraying it. Look at their messaging. This is clear. I can see why they're a winner. That you've got it optimized. You've got the appropriate social media channels through which you're doing your social posts. As appropriate, you're reaching out to people you know through email. And for the people you don't know, you've got advertising campaigns. But this marketing plan has got to be appropriate for the customer set you're going after. I hope this was helpful. I wanted to tie all these things together. I think I have. If you have further questions and you want to get in touch with me, go ahead. I can be reached at bwarner@ontrudot.org. I think find me on the ontrudot.org website. I'd be glad to talk to you about your marketing strategy, your marketing plan, and see if I can help you solve whatever issues you're facing. It may be the most important thing that is preventing you from being a successful business. Have a great evening. I hope that was useful. Good night.